Trust me when I say this, but about 90% of anime, mostly in shonen genre, have your typical weak-looking but overpowered protagonist. It's overdone in a sense, but trust me, it just never gets old. Because where's actually the true fun if a protagonist is not the strongest in the first place? But today's video will be diving into weak-looking but strong anime protagonists, highlighting some of my favorite anime with a mix of underrated and known anime, and a chance for you all to grab some anime for yourselves to watch. Unless you've already seen them, of course. But anyways, sit back and enjoy the ride.
Dodge this!
How about we start things off with Black Summoner? This is an isekai of how an average-looking guy becomes so overpowered from the get-go, despite him not looking like one in the first place. The Tamer class is usually weak in this world, but since this guy has everything pretty much at the S-rank status, he can do absolutely whatever he wants. From taming powerful beings to join his side, to acting like a villainous character towards the hero's party, and dominating the battlefield at the same time. I mean, what is not there to love about something like that? Defeating the Great Demon Lord as a baby sure is one of the biggest achievements of mankind, and now as a teenager, it's time to enter the academy as an overpowered transfer student, where everyone has no idea just how destructive his capabilities truly are. The daily life of the Immortal King is still to this day one of the all-time best Chinese animation, or what others like to call it, a donghua. Wang Ling is too overpowered and can destroy the world, so to suppress his powers, his parents gave him an amulet to hide his overwhelming power, but that amulet breaks over time, so, you know, just how far can Wang Ling go without causing a lot of chaos and destruction and destroying enemies with such ease, I wonder?
It ought to fill you up nicely! Now, Stone Bullet 100!
The Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter. A super generic yet funny anime about a guy that gets a powerful ability, but it does require some sort of points that he needs to make it activate through getting into, you know, romantic or ecchi situations. The protagonist Noir is a noble, but at the very bottom of the hierarchy and gets bullied by his fellow nobles. But now, he decides to join the Hero Academy to get stronger and was advised to explore the dungeons where he meets a woman who gives him great power in exchange for points that only he can obtain through, you know, those types of situations that you may actually enjoy because, you know, it's fan service. Now, if you like anime series to do with, like, spy, cool action and all that, then this anime is just for you. This is a series about a boy named Asano who lost his family in a car crash, and all he has left by his side is his dear childhood friend who really cares about him, but he has no idea what her true identity really is.
From now on, it's my turn to be the one to protect you!
Are you two okay?
Musumi is the head of the spy family, and in order for Asano to join and marry her, which is, you know, the biggest goal, he must prove himself worthy and become the greatest spy he can to protect his friend from danger. There will be lots of power struggle, but the end result is far greater than what you can imagine. Wistoria Wand and Sword is a real hidden gem, I tell you, because the amount of people that have ignored or never watched this anime are missing out on possibly one of the best Magic Academy anime series with a protagonist who can't even use magic. The protagonist Will excels in close combat with his sword, but doesn't use magic as many make fun of him or even for being in this academy in the first place. Although his mentor and the principal very well see big potential in his growth, one day he actually wishes to stand on top of the wizard tower as the greatest in the academy and join his childhood friend whom he promised to reunite with up in that tower. This here honestly could be the rise of a brand new anime, and to be honest, it is currently a big talk of the season, and many of you should actually join the ride.
大丈夫。僕はナイスだ。きっと勝てる。恐怖を吸収したのか。
Anyone can be a hero in this anime, as all it takes is a large number of people supporting you to gain points and power. An average weakling guy gets fired from his daily job and witnessed one of the greatest heroes of all time die, named Nice. So, what happens next? Well, let's just say that he was forced to take his place, continue on the legacy to become the strongest hero, pretty much to become the #1 hero, is what I'm trying to say. It's a unique mix of 2D and 3D animation in such a smooth way. It's actually very similar to Arcane from Netflix, as it's highly worth getting into. Now, have you ever wondered what it feels to be the leader of the strongest guild in this series or fantasy world, but genuinely being the absolute weakest member and hiding behind your teammates' back to take the fame and spotlight as the greatest, even though you are worthless? Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling, but what I just explained is exactly how it sounds and feels for this protagonist in the anime called Let This Grieving Soul Retire. He already wanted to retire, but is unable to since his teammates really rely on his leadership and strength. Yet how long can this man hide and put on a fake stage play until others find out just how useless he really is? If you really need some funny moments in an isekai world with a protagonist who plays the role of someone who wishes to die, damn, what a shocker, then you certainly have one hell of a ride with this isekai series. No longer allowed in another world is the story of how Dazai, an author that goes to another world and wants to die peacefully. However, he is unable to do so as you aren't really any longer allowed to go to another world after going to one. So, Dazai seems weak, but he does like, well, poison. And with only 1 hit point to his name, he is surprisingly very strong for a weak-looking guy because enemies get poisoned to death. Honestly, you guys really should check this one out. And now here we have Reincarnated As A Sword, one of the best isekai anime that not many people actually appreciate. It is such a cool story of a guy that gets reincarnated into the world as a sword that can freely move around, but is even more powerful if he finds himself a wielder. That's when he stumbles across the Black Cat tribe, treated as slaves and working, and upon rescuing a young girl named Fran, he decides to team up with her to help her achieve her goal of becoming a powerful adventurer to avenge her fallen people. And finally, for the last anime in today's video list, Mob Psycho 100. You guys remember this glorious masterpiece of an animation series that ended? Yeah, I really miss it too. But while I know this is a very popular anime, I'd still prefer to add it on this list as sort of a reminder that you should really watch this show again. And as for newcomers, definitely check the show out. The protagonist Mob is your average weak-looking high schooler who has powerful psychic abilities or powers and works with his master named Reagan, where they exorcise evil spirits and go on duty whenever danger calls. Beautiful crisp animation, badass fight scenes, and amazing characters you will never ever forget about. Looks like this is the finish line for the weakling protagonists, but try not to underestimate them because you never know just how strong they really are. If you did enjoy them, please do drop a like to show your support and subscribe to stay notified of all my latest uploads here on YouTube. Take care everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.